Hi all, welcome to the Agility Station, episode 3 of our series on how we can improve performance of an agile release train. I am Anshu Gupta and with me is Vinod Krishnan. In this episode, we continue our conversation on improving performance of art. So this is the third episode of the series. In our previous episodes, we touched upon what is meant by art performance plan, how it is different from art maturity assessments, how we can bridge the gaps between this art performance plan and the art maturity assessments. Why do we need such a art performance plan? What are the different parameters or different areas under which we can assess the performance of an art or a team? And what can be the different approaches which can be adopted to draft a plan? So, continuing from there, in this episode, we continue discussion on approach that can be adopted to create a performance plan, highlighting what all can be considered in a plan. So, if you have not watched our previous episodes, then do watch it and subscribe to our podcast channel, The Agility Station. Welcome, Vinod, in this episode 3 of the series on improving performance of an agile release team. So, what do you think? What are the different areas which we should include in such a plan and from where we can start?
Yeah. First of all, thanks, Anshu. So last time we have discussed kind of a summary of the different stages where we can create a kind of approach to art performance improvement plan. We can call it as IDPES. Uh, First, initiation, I for initiation, diagnostic, planning, E for execution and evaluation, and the last, sustainment. So let's go a little bit detail in this each stage. First stage, initiation stage. Here we define the scope and objectives of the performance improvement plan. The purpose of this stage is to set the foundation for the improvement plan by clarifying its scope, objectives, and making sure all the required stakeholders involvement. And the key activities in this initiation stage is obviously the first will come as a stakeholder alignment, where you identify and engage the stakeholders for the art, such as the RT, release train engineer, product management, system architect, business owners, and team representatives. Second key activity will be defining the objectives. So you outline the goals of the improvement plan. So something, it may be like improving your predictability, art predictability, or enhancing the flow, or fostering collaboration among the teams and also among the art. And third will be like baselining the metrics. Third activity is baselining the metrics. So establish all the current performance baselines using metrics which is required for your art. So something like predictability, flow, quality, and team engagement metrics. That's the key activity here. You should baseline the metrics. Then the last key activity in this stage, it will be like defining the boundaries for the improvement plan. So the improvement plan, if it is for entire art, or is it for any team specific, or is it for some only for some problem areas? So define the scope and then document that. So second stage is diagnostic stage. So what you will you do is that you will assess the current performance, identify all the performance gaps, bottlenecks, and areas for improvement. So you can have a different key activities to identify that. So one will be surveys and interviews. getting feedbacks from the teams, stakeholders, leadership about all the pain points. Then we can do an activity for metric analysis. So like kind of examining the metrics as like program predictability, lead and cycle time, etc. Third activity will be the review your inspect and adapt analysis, like from the past, inspect and adapt workshops or retrospectives or system demos, whatever outputs you have received, analyze it. Fourth activity will be uh, identifying the inefficiencies and delays across the value stream. Then the fifth and final activity for this second stage will be root cause analysis. So conduct all the workshops, root cause analysis workshops to understand to uncover any kind of issues. Third stage will be the planning stage, where you develop the improvement plan. So define all the actionable initiatives to address the identified gaps and then prioritize them. Here, the key activities will be like obviously the prioritizing the initiatives, all the opportunities, improvement opportunities based on impact and facilities, rank everything. Then you have define the goals using SMART goals. Then you can start the third activity will be the action plan development, where you enhance collaboration through PI planning practices, optimize the delivery pipeline and DevOps practices, improve team agility and predictability. This all comes under the key activities. The next key activity for this stage will be that you clearly define the roles and responsibilities. Who owns each initiative? Then last activity will be setting the milestones. So define all the short-term and long-term milestones for all the tracking purpose and just review it. Next, we go to the fourth stage, that's the execution stage, where you implement the plan. So execute all the initiatives, improvement initiatives you have identified, and keep on monitoring it, continuous monitoring, and support the art team to make sure that all the team members are aligned with the common objectives. So in this stage here, there are key activities, something like uh, start executing all the initiatives, whatever you have identified in phases. Then you can provide coaching and training for teams and leaders. One another activity is like iterative delivery, apply all the agile principles to incrementally implement changes and gather feedback. Then fourth activity in this stage will be like monitoring the metrics and then make sure that communicating with the regularly with all the stakeholders uh, on what all progress and challenges are there. Fifth evaluation will be evaluation stage, where you measure the outcomes, uh, evaluate the impact of improvement plan and identify additional adjustment areas or area where if there is any kind of improvement is required. So some of the key activities will be comparing all the metrics before analyzing all the metrics post improvement implementation and against the baseline whatever you have identified for, get the feedbacks from the stakeholders and conduct and inspect and adapt workshop. And if there is any kind of practices that need to be refined, that you can do it, identify and address all the challenges and implement the practices. Last stage will be the sustainment stage. So once the purpose of this stage will be like now you are in a stage where you have implemented everything, all the plans. Now make sure that all the practices that you have implemented ensured that it is it's continuing, and make sure that continuous improvement is happening. So key activities will be like standardizing the practices and continuing the training for skill developments. Uh, Make sure that you are getting the feedbacks continuously from the stakeholders, and even while you are conducting the retrospectives and inspect and audit workshops, etc. And if there is and keep sure that you are monitoring it, and make sure that you are adjusting all the performance metrics and adapt. So this is actually in detail on all the stages. So Anshu, what's your thoughts?
Vinod, it's such a nice approach. IDPES, like initiation, diagnostic, planning, etc. It's sustainment. So it's just such a lovely name of this approach. I really love it. So yeah, so basically, I use 5E framework as my approach to define a performance plan. So it's like explore, eva- explain, establish, execute, and evaluate. We can use any approach to draft a plan, or we can create your own approach too, based on the needs. So all the approaches are generally related to each other. We can marry any approach to anything. So I'll just go in a bit of details that what I cover as part of my plan and my approach. So starting with the explore, here I just refer to accessing the current state of art maturity. So we have 5 different levels of maturity. So we have initial, developing, established, advanced, and innovative. So in this step, the idea is to identify what is the current state of an art or a team. So we just not only do assessments. So if you want to do, you can have a safe core assessments, or you can have some other assessments also uh, for a leadership or for your scrum masters, your product owner, or any type of assessments that you want to run. So that will be part of this. Along with that, you can have a team competency mapping as well as a gap analysis. You can review the user stories and the acceptance criteria, the quality of user stories, the quality of estimations that are being done by the team, whether the team is participating in the retros or not. You need to do one more thing is engage with the team and stakeholders in one-on-one meetings to identify their opinion, to get their opinion and feedback on the whole process of agile implementation that has happened. Along with that, you analyze the past and current PI matrices, basically historical data analysis. So you will uh, analyze all the safe matrices like your ppm, your cycle time, flow rate, flow, etc., velocity. But along with that, also try to figure it out your qa matrices like defect escape ratio, and customer satisfaction, etc. So with this, with all these, you try to identify what is the current state of an art. Now when you move to a next state, explain. Here you define the goals. So this, if you want to marry to IDPES approach shared by Vinod, so explore is your initiation state, explain is your diagnostic state. So when you define the goals, you start with the root cause analysis of what all data you collected, you analyze that, and here you identify the root causes, try to map, okay, these are the goals and these are the root causes, then what can be the goal? Okay, based on your maturity level of an art or team, you identify that what is the desired maturity level that you want to achieve. You set the goals. Goals should be tangible in nature so that they are uh, achievable. They are definitely smart, small, measurable, achievable, and tangible. And then they should all be aligned with the art business objectives. For example, you can say that need to improve my predictability from 60 to 80%, something like that. You can define your goals. It's just an example. Reduce lead time by 20%. So here you define goals. You definitely try to identify here key KPIs and matrices that you want to monitor and define them. So these matrices, KPIs, along with whatever the SAFe has defined, uh, you can consider a few more matrices as per your needs, your project needs. Moving the third stage is your explore, established. Sorry. So it is nothing but the planning stage from the IDPS approach. Here you actually develop a plan. Uh, so what all steps you are going to take to achieve the goals that you defined in your explain or diagnostic state. So all those are documented here. So you will plan for trainings, workshops. You will try to focus on continuous improvement initiatives. You try to establish a clear art backlog management, PPI planning events, etc. Also, you will try to enhance collaboration within the team by focusing on some team syncs, coach syncs, retros. Try to take measures to improve the participation of a team in different pro- events like demos, team retros, both for team and as well as for the customer side. Along with that, you also plan how you are going to collect the feedback from team members and stakeholders and how you are going to act on it. You continue put a plan that how you are going to track the art measure and other performance matrices. So all these things are put in a document, and here in this stage you define a plan. Then you move to an executive stage, which is same as an execution of IDPS approach shared by Vinod. So here, whatever plan that you have put in, you start implementing it. So you start with just-in-time training, conducting different workshops for the teams, leaders. Maybe you want to run a workshop on how to write a acceptance criteria or how to do a proper estimations. All those workshops has to be conducted in this state. You implement the feedback loop to enable suggestions from improvement for different team and art events. And along with that, you also keep on monitoring uh, the progress and measure uh, the progress levels. You also focus on stakeholder engagements and continue with your coaching and mentoring. Now, I will say that uh, don't just coach on the agile principles and the overall art. Try to do a one-on-one coaching also to empower the each individual. Generally, we focus on empowering or improving the performance of an art only. I say try to improve the performance of each individual team member. That will be more beneficial. And finally, the last stage is evaluate stage. It is same as evaluation and sustainment from the IDPS approach. So here you conduct review uh, of the plan that whatever you have implemented, how much it has achieved from the defined goal, and then iterate it after making some adjustments based on what you have achieved. So here you will conduct a regular retros of the plan, implement it. You schedule reviews with team and stakeholders, try to get their inputs on the plan, whether they want to make any tweaks in the plan, they want to make any suggestions in the plan. According to that, you will tweak your plan and then re-implement it. So this is the approach in nutshell that we generally use. So it's all up to you which approach you want to use. There are many other approaches, or you want to create your own approach. It's just a small brief of what we do when we draft a art performance plan. So with this, we come to an end of this episode. Vinod, Any sessions from your
Yeah,
side?
thanks, Anshuk. And for all the viewers, don't forget to subscribe the Agility Station and follow us for future episodes on series of how to improve performance of an agile release train. And in next episode, we'll be discussing on different maturity assessments. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, and till then, stay focused, stay agile. We'll meet you in the next episode.